Everyone in Gra knew Madame Felicia. She wasn't just a widow with 2 grown sons. She was a ruler in her own right. The kind of woman whose eyes could scatter a crowd of gossiping women in seconds, whose footsteps alone made children scatter mid-play. Her compound was her palace. The veranda was her throne. And her sons, Liam and Ethan, were her 2 proud jewels, proof that she had raised men who, in her words, knew where they came from. Felicia didn't believe in bending. Rather, people bent to her will, always. When Liam, her first son, married Beatrice, Madame Felicia's smile at the wedding fooled nobody. The neighbors saw the way her eyes raked Beatrice up and down, as if measuring her cloth for faults. "You are welcome, my daughter," Madame Felicia said on Beatrice's first day in the house. Her arms pulled the new bride into a stiff embrace, her lips brushing her ear with words that felt like ice. "But remember, this house has rules. And I, Madame Felicia, I am the rule maker." The crowd clapped, thinking it was a playful joke. But Beatrice would soon learn it was a curse. Within weeks of their marriage, Beatrice was transformed from new bride to housemaid. Madame Felicia made her wake up before dawn, to sweep every corner of the house. She had to hand wash everybody's clothes until her hands blistered, even though there was a washing machine in the house. Madame Felicia refused Beatrice using the washing machine because, according to her, it will make her lazy. Beatrice was made to cook endless pots of different meals daily. And still, nothing pleased Madame Felicia. The first time Beatrice cooked bitter leaf soup, Madame Felicia pushed the tray away screaming, "This meat is too tough, and the soup tastes like dirty water. Didn't your mother train you? No wonder your father gave you away so quickly." Beatrice wept that night. Her quiet sobs were swallowed by her pillow, and Liam never noticed. No matter how much Beatrice tried to please Madame Felicia, the maltreatment only got worse for Beatrice. And when she tried to complain to her husband Liam, Liam would sigh and say, "Just ignore my mother. That's how she is. Peace is better than quarreling." So Beatrice swallowed her pain, day after day, until silence became her second skin. Ethan was nothing like Liam. If Liam was water, flowing wherever his mother directed, Ethan was fire. Restless, bold, and untamed. He had spent years in Lagos, then abroad. Returning with gadgets Madame Felicia could not pronounce and ideas she could not understand. The first time Ethan brought Zara, his fiancée, home, the entire family blinked in disbelief. Zara wasn't the shy type. She was not modest in the way Madame Felicia expected. She wore a fitted Ankara jumpsuit, hoop earrings that swayed as she walked, and she looked very confident. She laughed loudly, spoke freely, and didn't flinch under Madame Felicia's hawk-like gaze. From the way Ethan's hand never left Zara's, everyone knew that this woman was no pushover. At their first dinner together, Madame Felicia struck as usual. "My daughter," she said, her tone dripping with authority. "In this family, we value respect. A wife should know her place. She must be humble, modest, and silent when elders speak." Zara leaned back in her chair, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "And in my generation, sweet mother-in-law, we value mutual respect. You respect me, I respect you. It's as simple as that." Beatrice froze in disbelief, her eyes wide in shock. Liam coughed into his palm, almost choking. Ethan grinned like a man watching his favorite team score. For the first time in years, Madame Felicia had been answered back. From that moment, the house was no longer a home. It was a battlefield. The next evening at dinner, Madame Felicia raised her voice again. "A decent wife doesn't start eating before the elders." Zara sipped her juice and replied, "A decent elder doesn't turn dinner time into a lecture session, Mama. Don't worry, I'll clear the table after." The next morning when Zara dressed up after having her bath, Madame Felicia hissed at Zara's outfit and said, "Look at you, dressing like a wayward girl. You're even showing legs in my house." Zara chuckled and replied, "These legs are your son's investment, Mama. And he approves of my style," Liam gasped. Ethan nearly spat out his drink. And for the first time in years, Beatrice stifled laughter behind her palm. But Madame Felicia was not a woman to easily accept defeat. She began to whisper to relatives, saying negative things about Zara like, "This Zara girl has no home training. She will destroy Ethan if care is not taken." Madame Felicia's pettiness grew with each passing day. She knowingly put Zara's jewelry into the dustbin when no one was looking. One night after Zara had cooked a large pot of soup and stocked them in the freezer, Madame Felicia unplugged the freezer so that the soups would spoil, just to punish Zara. She even dragged herself to church, reporting to the pastor that the devil was trying to marry her son. But every scheme backfired. Anytime Madame Felicia tried to talk Ethan out of marrying Zara, Ethan brushed her off. And Zara always exposed Madame Felicia's petty tricks with sarcasm that left her humiliated, and Beatrice, while always watching silently, began to learn. One evening, after a particularly cruel public humiliation from Madame Felicia, Beatrice sat in her bedroom, quietly folding her clothes into a gonna-must-go bag. Her hands trembled, her tears wetting the fabric. She whispered to herself, "I can't do this anymore. I would rather face shame in my father's house than die slowly here." She was about to slip off her wedding ring when the door creaked open. It was Zara. Zara saw the packed bag, rushed forward, and caught Beatrice's hands. "So this is it. You want to give her the victory? Beatrice, listen to me. This is exactly what she wants. She wants to break you. Do not let her win." Beatrice's tears spilled harder as she whispered, "But Liam doesn't defend me. I feel so alone." Zara cupped her face, her voice firm. "Not anymore. You're not alone. I am here. From tonight, we will fight together. Don't give her your silence. Don't give her your absence. Give her your strength." Slowly, Beatrice let go of the bag. For the first time, she felt the spark of courage. The next morning, Liam opened the wardrobe and froze when he saw the half-packed bag. His heart lurched. "You were going to leave me?" he asked Beatrice, his voice shaking. Beatrice's eyes filled with tears again. "What else should I do, Liam? Your mother has made this house a prison, and you have left me to rot in silence. I almost left last night. If not for Zara, I would be gone already." Liam's knees buckled. He dropped before her, clutching her hands. "Beatrice, I have failed you. But please, don't leave me. Things will change. I promise I will stand by you." Beatrice pulled her hands from him, her voice trembling but firm. "Then prove it, Liam. The next time your mother insults me, don't hide. Don't keep quiet. Stand with me. That's the only proof I need." Liam bowed his head in shame, but a seed of resolve grew within him. He would no longer be his mother's puppet. Christmas came with a grand feast. The compound overflowed with relatives, laughter, food, and drinks. Madame Felicia sat at the head of the table, her head towering, her eyes sharp. She waited, watching, her tongue ready to strike, and finally, she lashed out. "Zara," she spat out, "you parade yourself like a queen because of fine clothes and heavy makeup. Shameless girl. One day you will drag this family's name into the mud." Everyone froze in shock. All eyes turned to Zara. Zara rose slowly, her voice calm, but every word a whip. "Mama, I came into this family to love your son, not to fight you. But I will not let you insult me. And I will not let you keep treating Beatrice like a slave. You have mistaken fear for respect all these years. But today, that fear ends." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ethan stood immediately and added, "I stand with my wife." Madame Felicia sneered, ready to attack again, but then Liam stood. Liam's voice thundered across the yard, stronger than anyone had ever heard. "Mama, enough." The compound fell into a stunned silence. Even Madame Felicia blinked in shock. "I love you, Mama," Liam continued, his arm wrapping around Beatrice. "But I love my wife too, and I will no longer stand by while you destroy her spirit. From today, nobody, not even you, disrespects her." Whispers erupted among the relatives. Some aunties gasped. Uncles exchanged looks. Madame Felicia sat frozen, her authority crumbling before her eyes. Beatrice wept quietly into Liam's shoulder. This was the man she had prayed for all these years, not a mama's boy, but her husband. The whispers spread beyond the compound. People said Madame Felicia had finally met her match. Her voice, once thunderous, lost its lightning. She still muttered, still hissed, but her days of unchecked dominance were over. Beatrice began to laugh again, her confidence blooming like hibiscus after rain. She and Zara became allies, sisters not by blood but by love. And Madame Felicia? She often sat quietly on the veranda, staring at the mango tree. For the first time in her life, she understood the taste of defeat. For the first time, the lioness had been tamed. She had met her match.
Like, subscribe, and share for more awesome content.